What if the most famous guitar brands in the world are counting on you not knowing any better? That the name on the headstock costs more than anything actually happening inside the guitar? Today, we are naming names. 4 brands taking more from your wallet than they deserve, and 4 that quietly give you more than you paid for. Stay with us, because one of them might surprise you. Let me start with the one nobody wants to hear. Number 1, Gibson. Gibson is as American as it gets. The Les Paul, the SG, the ES-335. These guitars are woven into the history of rock and roll, but the Gibson of today is not the Gibson of 1959, or 1968, or even 1984. Right now, a Gibson Les Paul Standard 50s will cost you around $2,800, nearly $3,000, and what do you get? A guitar that may arrive with frets sprout along the edges of the neck, a finish that can bubble or crack within months, a neck angle that makes you wonder if anyone inspected it before it left the factory. The Gibson forums are full of people who drove to Guitar Center, played 6 Les Pauls side by side, and walked out with the one guitar out of 6 that actually felt right. At $3,000, you should not have to do that. The company went through a painful bankruptcy in 2018, restructured, and has been working to rebuild trust ever since. And things have improved, but improved is not the same as earned. The legacy is real. The current price tag asks you to pay for that legacy, whether the individual guitar in your hands deserves it or not. And that is a gamble no one should have to take at nearly $3,000. Number 2, PRS Core. Paul Reed Smith builds genuinely beautiful instruments. The Core line made in Stevensville, Maryland is impressive. The craftsmanship is real. But the starting price for a Core model is around $3,500, and that climbs quickly from there. Here's the problem. PRS also makes the SE series, built in South Korea and Indonesia. An SE Custom 24 costs around $850. Players who have done real blind tests, honest side-by-side comparisons, often cannot tell the difference in sound. The fretwork on the SE is excellent. The hardware holds tune. The pickups respond. So what are you paying for with the Core? Mostly the Maryland zip code and the premium finish options. If you are buying a guitar to play music, the SE gets you there. Number 3, Rickenbacker. Rickenbacker makes guitars that look like nothing else in the world. George Harrison played one. John Lennon played one. Tom Petty played one. The sound is genuinely unique, a jangly, chimey ring that no other guitar quite replicates, but a Rickenbacker costs around $2,000, and the company has barely changed their production process since the 1960s, which sounds romantic until you realize that unchanged also means no meaningful quality improvements, inconsistent fretwork at a premium price, and a company that seems almost proud of being difficult to buy from. Rickenbacker controls distribution tightly, rarely updates anything, and the wait times through authorized dealers can be extraordinary. You are paying for a legend. The guitar itself should back that up more than it does. Number 4, Martin Standard Series. Martin guitars have been made in Nazareth, Pennsylvania since 1839. That history is real, and it is earned. The D28 is one of the most storied acoustic guitars ever built. Generations of folk and country and bluegrass players lived and died by it. But the D28 today costs around $3,099. And here is the honest question. Is a Martin D28 meaningfully better than a Taylor 314 CE that costs around $1,500 less? For many players, in many playing situations, the answer is no. Martin is selling heritage. And heritage, it turns out, carries a very specific price tag. Real quick, before we get to the good news, we are genuinely trying to grow this channel and reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the month. If you are finding this useful, or even just enjoying the ride, hit subscribe right now. It costs you nothing. All right, back to it. Number 1, Fender Player Series. The Fender Player Stratocaster, made in Ensenada, Mexico, costs around $800, and it is one of the best guitars available at any price point. The necks are comfortable. The pickups are musical and clear. The build quality is consistent in a way that Gibson has not managed at 4 times the price. Leo Fender designed the Stratocaster in 1954 and the basic design has never needed a reinvention because it was right from the beginning. The Player Series delivers that design reliably, night after night. If someone handed you a Player Strat on a gig, you would not complain for 1 second. The Player Telecaster deserves a mention here too. Same story, same price range, same level of quiet over-delivering. Fender figured out how to make the Mexican factory something to be proud of, and the Player Series is the proof. Number 2, Epiphone inspired by Gibson. For a long time, Epiphone was the guitar you bought when you could not afford the real thing. People were a little embarrassed about it. Then around 2020, Epiphone overhauled their entire inspired by Gibson lineup, and something genuinely shifted. The Epiphone Les Paul Standard 50s, at around $450, now features a proper mahogany body, a maple cap, and Alnico Classic Pro pickups that sound like humbuckers are supposed to sound. The fretwork is clean. The fit and finish would have been unthinkable at this price a decade ago. If you want your first Les Paul, or you want a Les Paul you can take on the road without being terrified, this is the answer. Number 3, G&L Tribute Series. Here is the one most people outside of dedicated guitar circles do not know about, and that is a shame. G&L was founded in 1980 by Leo Fender, the same Leo Fender who invented the Stratocaster and the Telecaster after he left the company that bears his name. Many players who knew Leo personally argue that the guitars he built at G&L in his later years were the best work of his life. The G&L Tribute Series, made in Indonesia, runs around $600 to $700. The Tribute Legacy and Tribute ASAT use the same designs Leo was refining right up until his death in 1991. The magnetic field design pickups are exceptional, with a clarity and output that makes guitars at twice the price feel like they are not trying hard enough. Number 4, Taylor Academy Series. Taylor guitars based in El Cajon, California, built their reputation on consistency and playability. Every Taylor that leaves the factory is set up properly. The neck relief is correct, the action is right. You do not have to take it to a tech before you can actually enjoy it. The Academy Series starts around $500. The Academy 12, in particular, has a slightly shorter scale length and a narrower nut width that makes it genuinely comfortable without sacrificing tone or talking down to an experienced player. At this price, it competes with acoustics from Martin and Gibson that cost 3 times as much. And in honest playing situations, it holds its own. So here is where we land. Brand recognition is not the same as value. A famous name on the headstock means the guitar has a history. It does not guarantee the guitar in your hands is worth what they are charging for it. Some of the best playing instruments available right now cost less than $800, and some of the most expensive guitars sold every day would embarrass their own makers if quality actually came first. The guitar world has always had a bit of mythology baked into it. We all want to believe that the guitar hanging on the wall of the music store, the one with the famous name and the serious price tag, is going to do something for us that nothing else can. Sometimes that is true, but a lot of the time the guitar 3 pegs down the wall at a fraction of the cost will get you just as far and maybe further. Play what sounds good to you. Buy what you can genuinely afford. And do not let a logo make the decision. If you enjoyed this one, please subscribe to the channel. We dig into guitar history, guitar brands, and the stories behind the instruments that shape the music you grew up with. A lot more is coming, and you do not want to miss it. We will see you in the next one.